These are 5 books I think you should read before the end of 2025. Hi, I'm Phoebe from the IO Prep. The first book is from this gorgeous compilation of Christmas books by Charles Dickens, and I recommend the first and probably most famous of his Christmas stories, A Christmas Carol in Prose, a ghost story of Christmas. This is such a classic story. I'm sure a lot of you have already read this book or seen an adaptation of it on screen, but I think it's always nice to kind of reread these really classic tales during Christmas time. I especially love this copy of the book because it has all of these beautiful illustrations inside to kind of help you visualize what's going on. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. The second one is a bit of a more modern read by James Baldwin, Giovanni's Room. I absolutely adore James Baldwin as a person, as an author, and this is one of the first books that I really found reading the author's interview about their book to be really helpful in helping me reframe the whole book in my mind. So I read this first, and then I read his interview, and then I reread this book, and it felt completely different. So if any of you want to have your heart broken over the Christmas break, definitely recommend this one. It's such catharsis. It helps you get all of your emotions out before the new year. Third recommendation is this children's book called A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. And this is one of those children's books where I feel like if I reread it as an adult, it feels completely different to how I read it when I was a child. And this is a really nice copy of that book, and of course it also featured quite prominently in the recent season of Stranger Things. I made a reel about that, by the way, if you want to check that out as well. But this is a really, really heartwarming story about love and the importance of human emotion, so another strong recommend. Of course, we have to have a Shakespeare in there. I have a really contentious relationship with Romeo and Juliet. I don't normally reach for romance stories that much, I think, and so I resisted reading this for quite a while, but I was really recommended to read it recently, and I did, and I'm so glad I did, because after reading it a couple times over, I think this story felt, at least to me, less about the romance, but more about a study into the destructive nature of the human spirit and how that kind of pushes us to the brink. So, Romeo and Juliet. And last but not least, to all of those sci-fi fans out there, of course we have Jules Verne's A Journey to the Center of the Earth, a classic sci-fi story. It's shorter than his 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I think is also quite well known. Really need an introduction from me, but if any of you are feeling adventurous and want to kind of do a little bit of scientific escapism over the winter break, another strong recommend. So yeah, these are the 5 books. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.